In this session, I'll explain the procedure for the reimbursement listing of medical materials. Let's take a look at who we are, and then look into health insurance claim procedure, new medical device reimbursement procedure, and then the last introduction to medical material reimbursement registration. MDREX is a specialized consulting firm in South Korea, working on registrations and reimbursement listing for medical devices. The main scope of work includes regulatory approvals, KGMP certifications, Korea license holding services in countries as shown in this module. First, I'd like to go over the health insurance claim procedure. Then I'll describe the process for listing new medical devices for reimbursement and then cover the procedure for reimbursement listing of medical materials. This diagram explains how an actual reimbursement claim is processed after a patient goes to a hospital and receives treatment in Korea. South Korea operates a single-payer system, which is a public insurance system. This means that if a hospital is established in Korea, it must participate in the national insurance system as per the National Health Insurance Law. The Ministry of Health and Welfare operates the reimbursement listing, management, and evaluation. To implement all the regulations, medical review and evaluations are entrusted to the Health Insurance Review and Assessment Services, which is called HIRA, and subscriber management and insurance premium payments are entrusted to the National Health Insurance Service, which is known as NHIS. When a patient goes to a hospital and receives treatments, the patient needs to pay about 20% of the medical expenses as stipulated by law. The hospital then submits the treatment details and expenses to the HIRA and evaluates the claim costs and the compliance with benefit standards. If it is deemed appropriate, HIRA informs the NHIS of the review results. The NHIS then pays the hospital approximately 80% of the treatment expenses, excluding the patient's out-of-pocket expense. The 20 out-of-pocket expenses not covered by public insurance and the non-reimbursed portion are covered by private insurance systems, and this includes various types such as cancer or long-term care. Let's look into the new reimbursement listing procedures for medical devices. The positive list is applied for drugs, meaning that products that are listed with reimbursement coverage, including prices, are officially announced. The products that are not listed can be sold as non-reimbursable. A negative list is applied to medical procedures and materials, meaning that the government announces non-reimbursable procedures and medical materials through administrative rules. And any procedures or medical materials not listed are classified as reimbursable. Being classified as reimbursable implies that the government evaluates their cost-effectiveness and determines their prices. The negative and positive lists are used for procedures and medical materials. For new procedures or medical materials, reimbursement registration must be completed within the HIRA. Let's go through the reimbursement process once new medical devices are approved by MFDS. New medical devices fall into two categories for reimbursement. First, there are devices used in medical procedures, in vitro diagnostic reagents, and software. Hospitals include the cost of these items in the overall cost of the medical procedures when deciding prices. Single-use consumables with high prices, known as medical materials, and for these items, reimbursement prices are determined on a product-by-product basis. Manufacturers or importers of medical materials must submit an application for reimbursement decision to the Health Insurance Review and Assessment Service, HIRA, within 30 days of approvals by MFDS. If the medical material is related to a new procedure, it goes to a new medical tech assessment before reapplication. If the medical material is used in a previous time, and if a similar medical material is already registered, the price of new medical product will be set at 90% of the price. If a reassessment has been applied for the medical material, the same price may apply. Since medical materials do not have the patent linkage like for pharmaceuticals, there is no separate price compensation policy for initially registered products. To provide benefits for medical materials registered for the first time, the insurance price for a second registered product is set at 90% of the price of the first registered medical materials. Every 3 years, a reassessment equalizes the average price between the product registered for the first time and subsequent registered products, adjusting the reimbursement price. If a subsequent registered product carries a superior function compared to initially registered products, it can receive a price up to 100% higher through value assessment, proving innovation and advancement. This session covers Introduction to Medical Material Reimbursement Registration. The medical materials refer to consumables or non-pharmaceutical products and human tissues or used for treatments of in or outpatients. Medical materials are not limited to medical devices approved under the Medical Devices Law. Pharmaceuticals are regulated separately under the Pharmaceutical Affairs Law, and human tissues are governed by the Human Tissue Law by MFDS. In the case of medical devices, like for instance, stents, disposable items, and human tissues are classified as medical materials. Most of the time, the cost of buying medical materials is included in the procedural fees. In the case of high price of medical materials, these are calculated and assessed by the HERA. Products used in homes are not subject to the National Health Insurance, while products used in hospitals for inpatients or outpatients are considered under the National Health Insurance Law. These are divided into reimbursable and non-reimbursable, specified in the list of reimbursable or non-reimbursable medical materials and maximum reimbursable price. There are medical materials that are not covered by insurance and are not registered as reimbursable items. These products are not considered pricey and are covered in medical procedural fees to determine their prices. An example is like syringe. For medical devices covered in procedure price as medical materials, you can sell them right away without applying for medical material determination. Medical materials are divided into major categories, subcategories, and detailed categories. Major categories are differentiated by purpose or function. Subcategories indicate form, application site, and method of use. Detailed are individual companies and products. To classify these, there are 8 digits code. The major category uses the first 2, the subcategory uses the following 3 digits, and the remaining 3 digits are used for the detailed classes. For instance, if we take a surgical stapler with the same purpose, it will be classified under major B1 and then classified into 3 subcategories based on factors such as its form, material, and specifications. Individual companies and products would be classified in the last. Once classified in this manner, they are grouped together under the same pricing policy for a consistent price. As you can see from this slide, medical materials are classified into each group from major A to T, and all the detailed information are described in the table. Manufacturers or importers, as defined by the Medical Devices Law, can apply for registration of medical materials. If a foreign manufacturer wishes to export their product to Korea, they must appoint a local subsidiary, distributor, or an entity like MDREX or KLH as the importer. An application for medical material determination must be submitted to the MFDS within 30 days from the date of getting approval, certification, or notification. If it is determined by HERA that the medical material is used for a new medical procedure, the application for medical material determination must be submitted within 30 days from the date of the first use in patients after the new medical technology evaluation is completed. The requirement to submit the application within 30 days is due to the provision that allows products applied within this time frame to be used as non-reimbursable until the final price of the medical materials are officially announced. The product cannot be used in medical institutions until it is listed for reimbursement if you submit the application after the 30 days period. In this module, let me explain the application form and the documents you need to submit. The application form must be prepared using the format specified in Appendix number 16 of the Rules on National Health Insurance Benefit Standards. These are processed electronically. You can fill out these applications from HERA website. With this form, you need to submit the product license justification for the proposed selling price, cost effectiveness data. Other supporting documents such as evidence of domestic and international use, clinical utility, and innovation are required for value assessment to ensure higher price, and these are optional. When applying for medical material determination to the HERA, the process involves an initial operation review with the HERA, followed by deliberation by the Medical Material Evaluation Committee to determine the price. The Ministry of Health and Welfare, as the highest body under the National Health Insurance, convenes the Health Insurance Policy Deliberation Council to review HERA's opinions. If there are no objections, the related information will be announced through administrative regulations. If there is an objection to the insurance price notified and determined by the Medical Material Evaluation Committee, the applicant has the option to apply through an independent process. HERA decides independent reviewers who are experts in ensuring objectivity to submit a review report. The results are communicated back to the applicant for their review results. After this, another session of the Medical Material Evaluation Committee is convened to make the final price decision. If no independent review is requested, the legal processing period takes around 100 days. If an independent review is requested, it extends the processing time to approximately 1 year. When planning market entry, it is crucial to take these timelines into account. If the product falls under the category of the product registered for the first time, the price is determined based on the import price FOB of the product and the cost of calculation data. The insurance price is set at 1.78 times the cost, including management, operation, and distribution expenses, applied to the manufacturing or import cost. Through comparative clinical trials, the applied product demonstrates significantly improved functionality or performance compared to a previously registered product. It may be priced at 100% higher than the price of the previously registered product. If improvements in functionality or performance are demonstrated through performance comparisons rather than clinical trial data, a 50% price of increment may be considered. For example, recent cases like the TAVI products using implantation receive an 80% price increment based on clinical trial data. Insurance pricing for medical materials is a crucial aspect in terms of company revenue. We are here to support with a highly experienced and expertise. Thank you for listening to this module.